All right, back from vacation. Feels good to be back home and normal setup. So let's talk about a move that the Lions made that maybe went unnoticed, maybe didn't think was that big of a deal. We'll break that one down. I think it was a really smart move. We'll look at a mock draft that's landing the Lions with that big X receiver on the outside, where in the red zone they could just throw it up. Perfect. And then we'll also look at the history of the number 29 overall pick across the history of the league and or the last few years, I guess. And you can see the type of player that's available at the end of the first round. And it's like, okay, love it. I mean, you just look at, we got Sam Laporta in the second round. So there's players out there and really good things. Okay. So here's here's the move that I think just was a really smart move by the Lions. By now, you know about Cam Sutton, worn out for his arrest, been looking for him now for 2.5 weeks. Can't find him. He's also not turning himself in, which is really bizarre. Let me know in the comments what you think. I mean, I've heard, is he in danger? Like, is something wrong with him? The police lately have said they don't think that he's in danger, that his well-being is in question. It's just he's not wanting to show up. My theory is he is smart enough to kind of get his legal team probably in place and like get all the information he needs before he like turns himself in. In any case, there's a couple moves that the Lions made based on this, and I thought it was really good. Number one, since Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell got here, we saw it in Hard Knocks where Dan Campbell doesn't give the team like any rules. Remember, like the first thing he said, here's your rules, respect the game, don't be late. It's like, boom. Guys love that, right? Look, we're not going to be out here breaking rules, domestic violence. And there we go. We have a guy that does it. And you haven't had this on the Lions since Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have taken over. So what happens? Immediately they release him. And I thought, well, let's just see. Let's play it out. This is our number one corner. Remember that. And we'll talk about this here in a second. I get he struggled in the back half of the season. I actually defended him most of the season just because he didn't have a lot of help. And I thought he's not that bad. And I loved the new additions. I thought he could really complement now. He's not chasing around the number one wide receiver. CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, like this will be great. He is actually a better player than he actually played. Like I was all excited about what all the offseason moves did for Cam Sutton, but he has problems running from the law. Who knows what's going on? So the Lions immediately cut him. And I thought that was smart move number one. Like, don't even care. We want you out of here. It's not worth the headache. It's not worth what the NFL ramifications would be following this all off season, getting questioned about, hey, what's the suspension? Is he going to play? He's going to get jail time. Is he going to be on probation? Is he just bye? You're out of here. Move number one. And I say that's a good move because it wasn't an easy move because again, he was going to be a guy that we were really going to count on this year in a revamped secondary that we really need. The second thing was they really messed with his cap here. And so the Lions are really smart with this. And this is why Brad Holmes does not give big contracts. He just, because things happen, right? So the first time he gives a big contract to somebody, Cam Sutton, 3 years, 33 million last year, problems arise. So we'll break this down just really quick because it's important to see. And if you haven't seen this by now, Pride Detroit really knocks it out of the park. So basically he had 30 million remaining on his contract and 20 of it was to be guaranteed. Now what the Lions are saying is, okay, what we're going to do on that 20 million that's guaranteed, we're going to split it up. The NFL allows you to do that because as soon as dead money comes available, you have to pay that. Well, that would kill the rest of this offseason if we had to pay this. So you get to spread it out. So now it's 10 and 10. And so the next thing that they wanted to do was say, okay, this base salary here, we are going to apply or basically ask the league, say, hey, this is against company or league policy. We want to forfeit that. We should not have to pay that because he broke the league rules, the league conduct. So the Lions, there's a rule in place to manage large cap penalties called the June 1st designation. This rule allows teams to opportunity to spread out the cap penalty over 2 years for cap relief. The Lions are going to do this, and they're going to have 2024 and then 2025 would be eliminated. And so here's the cap hit. On the surface, it looks like the Lions will be severely penalized. But there's a personal conduct rule that's put in place by the NFL that can aid in the Lions getting compensation. They have requested that the NFL void the base salary of his contract due to his conduct, which, if this is all keeps going down the way it's going, that should be no problem. And it appears Sutton is in violation. So once the league rules on the matter, the results should look like this. So here's a guy with a 3-year, $33 million contract, just gets cut out of the blue, looks brutal. Instead, cap hit, very manageable. This is no problem at all. I love that the Lions took swift action and just cut him, and knew enough to look at the cap, understand what was going on, and quietly just get this out of here. The Lions know how hard it is to win, and how hard it is to win with distractions and guys like pending legal cases. And we got him out there talking to the media, and he's in trouble, but he's like not yet, and it's going through OTAs. Like, no, get that out of here. So I love what the Lions did quietly. A great move just to cut him, split up the cap, and then apply for, hey, look, we don't, he's breaking rules, so we shouldn't have to pay this. Perfect. I love it. Okay. Next thing is, you look at A to Z Sports put out a really good mock draft that I think is perfect, and it's an opportunity for the Lions to make a trade and go get their best wide receivers. The best wide receiver available. The Lions have made it known that they want a wide receiver. They haven't said that, but here's what my thought is. They need a true number one X outside, go get the ball, big body guy, red zone. Don't have to scheme anything up, just throw it up. You've got, obviously, J-Moan and St. Brown's are number one, but you know what I mean? He's more of a slot guy. You need an outside guy that can go up and get the ball. And so this is what they can do. So in this mock, he goes up from 29 to 22, has to give up some things. I don't like giving up Malcolm Rodriguez, but in any case, you can see you can make it happen, right? You can move up 7 spots. You go up 7 spots and you get Brian Thomas out of LSU. I think this would be awesome, and I would love a wide receiver. Just really make the offense unbelievable. And so they get their big-bodied X guy. With Josh Reynolds possibly moving on, the Lions have a big spot to replace. Thomas can come in, do that, plus a lot more. I totally agree. He can separate like Reynolds can't, and he can go up and get the ball like Reynolds can't. Huge. So if you look at the way the Lions operate in the red zone, they're really good. Ben Johnson's scheming things up, but when you get in the red zone, how nice would it be one time to throw it up and give your advantage to the wide receiver? You're not having to scheme something up, and it's either he catches it or it's incomplete. Okay, no problem. So it's either a touchdown or you try again. Like, that would be perfect. I love that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And then let's take a look at this, a history of who's been available at pick 29. And this is interesting because what you'll see in this is guys that total busts and really good picks. So last year, this was the one we were kind of looking at. I remember Brian Breeze, Clemson D tackle. We really wanted him and didn't get him, and that's fine. So he's draft ranking. Saints got a good one, but another pick would have been Joey Porter Jr. right there as well. You go back 2022, Cole Strange, offensive lineman out of Chattanooga. Patriots got a starter, but he's been injured. Eric Stokes, he played for the Packers. He's kind of been injured as well. Isaiah Wilson, tackle out of Georgia in 2020. Wasted pick. A better pick, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, was there just a couple picks later, but yeah, not good. LJ Collier, defensive tackle, limited production. 2018, Taven Bryan, durable but lacked impact. David Njoku, 2017, that was a good pick. He's been a great player, but with the next pick was TJ Watt, and that's what's crazy about this. Like, oh my gosh. This guy from Mississippi, wanted him back in the day too. Defensive tackle, journeyman level player. And that's what's so, I mean, as you look, we'll go through these real quick. Journeyman 2015, Dominic Easley, Um, nah. And then let's just go back. Bonus pick 1988. Chris Spielman. Wow. Pick 29. Love it. So here's what you notice that pick 29. There's some players there. There's some you're going to get a general starter and you're going to guy that's going to be in the league. It's hard to mess it up fully, but you can get some home runs. And that's what's beautiful about Brad Holmes is he got Sam Laporte in the second round, Amon-Ra St. Brown in the fourth. I mean, there's players out there, Aleem McNeil in the third, where he can find these guys that are just so impactful and you're not wasting opportunities, wasting picks. So we don't have to worry about that. It's hard to do, but it just feels like Brad Holmes is going to knock that out of the park. So let me know your thoughts in the comments on this one, and we'll see all of you on the next.